What is up, guys, and welcome to your no-nonsense guide on how to play Doctor Strange effectively in Marvel Rivals. As usual, I'll go over all of his abilities and what they do, and then how I would play him in a normal game. Starting us off, we have his Daggers of Danak, which are his main ability. They are a 16 meters a second projectile speed attack with 18 damage per hit. Has a fall off of damage at 10 meters, decreasing to 62.5% at 20 meters. The fire rate is 5.56 rounds per second with a 0.03 second interval between 2 rounds. You get 8 shots within your clip, but you do not get any critical hits. Before we carry on, we're going to cover his passive, Price of Magic. Dark magic accumulates with every hit on an enemy. If dark magic peaks for too long, Doctor Strange will be cursed with anti-heal. This is in the center of your screen, which is the little number that ticks up pretty much every time you get a hit. So, anti-heal activates delay at peak magic is 3 seconds. So you get 3 seconds for when it hits 100 and then it activates. You then get anti-heal for 2 seconds. Each hit with your daggers generates 3.5 dark magic, and every melee hit with V generates 10. So what you want to be doing is keeping an eye on your dark magic meter, and then the next ability will be how you get rid of it. Maelstrom of Madness is how you get rid of your dark magic, which is your E ability, which releases dark magic to deal damage to nearby enemies. It has an 8 meter spherical radius, and for each point of dark magic, it deals 1.3 damage. Fall off begins at 5 meters, decreasing to 70% at 8 meters, and it has an 8-second cooldown. This is how you get rid of your dark magic meter. So when it gets all the way to the 100, you can then pop it, but you can pop it earlier. No matter the number on your dark magic meter, you can pop it, but obviously you get 1.3 damage for every point of dark magic. Cloak of Levitation is your main form of movement of getting out of battles, which allows you to ascend and then enter a brief state of sustained flight. It gives you an 8 meter distance, a 6-second free flight duration, but has a cooldown of 15 seconds. Pentagram of Ferala is another form of movement, however lets you open a portal between 2 locations, enabling all units to travel through them. Has a 20-second duration, however has an 180-second cooldown, but does allow you to open 2 portals, as you can see on screen, that your team can jump through for the full 20-second duration. Shield of Seraphim is creating a protective barrier against magic for Doctor Strange. He has a maximum shield value of 800, it has a delayed recovery after release of 1 second, and it has a 3-second cooldown after being destroyed. His ultimate is Eye of Agamotto. Separate nearby enemy souls from their bodies. Damage dealt to these souls is transferred to their physical bodies. So it is a single cast spell with a 10 meter spherical radius. It does 60 damage and it has 3 seconds of soul separation. Doctor Strange's team up is with Hulk, which allows him to have a Gamma Blast for his Maelstrom attack instead of its normal one. The main perk of this is it gives a little bit of extra damage, however also means that he doesn't get the Dark Magic anti-heal effect at 100%. So my first and main tip I'd say for Doctor Strange would be making sure that you alternate between your shots and your melee, alternating back and forth. You're probably wondering, why should I do that? It pretty much cuts down the time between your shots. If you shoot normally with Doctor Strange, it's quite slow. However, if you shoot then melee, you will actually do it a lot faster, outputting a lot more damage. Yes, this does mean that you'll get dark magic a lot quicker, and it also means that you could then possibly get your anti-heal. However, outputting a lot more damage and then also incorporating in your Maelstrom will mean that you'll kill people a lot quicker. So shoot, melee, build up to 100% and then use Maelstrom to then finish them off. Combined with this tip is actually making sure that you use your Maelstrom attack and don't forget. As I said, the anti-heal can get you into a spot of bother if you aren't getting rid of the dark magic. And I see a lot of Doctor Strange characters actually forgetting or not realising that meter hitting 100 and after 3 seconds means you can't be healed. So you've got to make sure that you're keeping to this rhythm of shoot, melee, and then use your dark magic ability of Maelstrom to get rid of it. Otherwise, not being able to be healed could put you into a spot of bother when it comes to team fights or one-on-ones. Another tip that I would give would be making sure that you're comfortable and confident taking one-on-one fights. Strange is strong. If you look on the website, now that hit rate is now being given to us on Pics versus wins, Doctor Strange is a high-picked character on gold and above, and that is because of the little tips and tricks that I'm going to show you in this video, but also because of the fact that he can win one-on-ones against most duelists and strategists. Vanguards, completely different story. You do need backup when it comes to Vanguards because they have a lot of health. However, when it comes to strategists and duelists, I have taken one-on-ones with both and a lot of them and won, as long as you know to alternate between your attacks and knowing what ones to pick and what ones to drop out of. Remember that you have your Cloak of Levitation, you can use that to get out of fights while also using your shield, but also as well, just being confident knowing that you can take on the duelists. Yes, they're damage dealers, however, you can kill them, and you can kill them pretty quickly with the alternating attack, and just being confident that you know where your healing is and knowing when to drop out of a fight when you need to. Your portal and your ult are your best friends. I would say that when it comes to using your ult, being able to use your portal at the same time, while not necessarily needed, is handy. Being able to place your portal at any angle and being able to place it above where the enemy are and drop through with your ult is just gold dust. Granted, it won't always work. It is not 100% foolproof. However, when the enemy don't know where you're coming from until they hear the portal, it's far too late if you've already popped your ult and jumped through. So make sure that you're using your ult combined with your portal ability just to make sure you get the drop on people. Your ult is handy, but also make sure you have your team with you. Your ult is only as good as having your teammates around to do damage. If you're popping your ult and then not having anyone around to do damage, yes, you can output damage, but you're not going to kill a whole team if you get a 6-man Eye of Agamotto. So make sure that you do have your teammates around you just to be able to back you up and get the kills in. My final tip will be making sure that you keep an eye out and an ear out for enemy ults. Your shield will protect your team against several of the ults. Magneto's massive metal ball, Iron Man's Iron Pulse thingy, whatever it's called. There are a lot of ults that getting your shield in their face, or at least getting your shield around your team, can back you up and help you massively. Do not pop it straight away though while it's happening. You need to be able to time it well, because what will happen is the enemy team will focus you to get rid of your shield to then kill you with the ult as it is anyway. Good example that I see and use regularly is when you hear Hela's ult go off, fly up to her and just put your shield in her face. Most people are relying on the Hela to kill everyone. They're not going to realise that you're up in her face with a shield in front of it, stopping it. Again, similar thing with Iron Man. Get up in his face, put the shield in the way. Yes, it's going to instantly destroy the shield and he may possibly kill you, but at least that's a protection and you dying versus your whole team dying and then him finishing you off. And that was my no-nonsense guide on how to play Doctor Strange effectively in Marvel Rivals. What do you think? I feel like that was probably the longest video when it came to tips and tricks, as Doctor Strange has a lot of tech that you need to learn to be effective. But let me know if there's anything that I missed in the comments below, and if there's any particular guides you would like to see. I believe I've now covered all the Vanguards, but let me know if there is anyone that I haven't. I think Magneto might be the only one I've got left. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you drop a like, and if you want to see more stuff for Marvel Rivals like guides and what ifs, please make sure you drop a subscribe. Other than that, thank you very much for watching.